What is up, people of YouTube? I'm your host Vernon. This is Willow Beach. Let's fish that. Alright, ladies and gents, this is going to be my Viva Las Vegas video here for Willow Beach. Now yes, technically this is not part of Las Vegas. Willow Beach is on the Arizona side, but having either a Nevada or Arizona license, you're allowed to fish the shared waters. And I do believe that Willow Beach is actually closer to Las Vegas than it is to Kingman. But nevertheless, this is a popular spot, one that I fished many times before, and that is why I want to do a Viva Las Vegas video for this spot. Now, when it comes to Willow Beach, you tend to think of big stripers and the big trout they stock. But that's not why I'm out here today. I need to leave a reason for me to always come back to this spot. Now, instead, today I want to focus on something that I've been seeing in these waters quite a lot and never actually caught, but we're not going to catch anything standing around. So let's get to fishing. Alright, so every single time that I've come down here to Willow Beach, I've always seen carp. Now, a lot of times you'll see them near the little fish hatchery there, but you'll also see quite a lot near the marina. I'm choosing this particular spot so we're close to the marina, but remember, you're not allowed to fish inside the marina. Now, what are the challenges when it comes to finding carp in this particular spot? Well, first off, these waters are a lot cooler than some of the other waters around. Typically in summer, these waters will reach around the upper 60s, so a lot cooler than some of the other waters. And that means these fish aren't feeding as vigorously as some of the other places. But because these waters are cooler, it also helps to sustain bigger fish. That's why you always have bigger stripers in these areas, and that's why they stock bigger trout. The other problem you have with that is you tend to have a lot of grass growing. Right behind this little sign there's a lot of tall grass. On this side, it looks to be a lot shorter, small grass down on the bottom. And the problem is getting your baits into the right location. If it's short grass, it's not a problem. Carp will actually remove grass to get to your baits. But if it's long strands of grass, then it won't work and your baits probably will get stuck in it. So the trick today is going to be casting around, trying to find out where there's short grass, see if we can get near any carp. Alright, and this is my carp setup. Simple oats and corn pack bait, and we have some flavored corn on there. Some Kool-Aid corn and some almond flavor corn. Gonna get that out there, see if we find any carp willing to feed on our baits. Alright, and that's our carp setup baited. A little bait runner, allowing the line to go out, the little strike indicator out into the water. We'll leave that soaking for a while, see if we have any carp willing to go for that. Now, we are allowed to use a second rod, and I'm seeing quite a lot of crawls in the water. And crawls, of course, is a great source of food for something like smallmouth bass. So I'm thinking of throwing around some lures, imitating crawls, seeing if there's any smallmouth around, especially in between these grass pads. But the problem is I'm not really seeing fish around me at the moment. So I'm thinking if there are fish, they're going to be in deep. So the second rod, going to throw around lures. If we don't get anything, maybe throw out some different baits out there. That's the plan. I'll see if we get any fish. I'll bring you guys to it. Alright, ladies and gents, it's been about 3 hours now of fishing out here next to the marina. Now, you would expect the carp setup to within an hour at least to have some movement if there are fish finding our baits. But I think the fish aren't finding the baits. Too much grass in this area. Now, carp will remove some grass to get to baits, but they're not going to mow the lawn. If there's this much grass, they won't remove all the grass to get to the baits. So maybe I need to find a different place for the carp baits. But like I said, that's within an hour. Why did I stay out here for 3 hours then? Well, that's quite simple. I've seen a couple of carp swim by, so we do know that there are carp in this area, but I've also seen a couple of rainbow trout. Now, every once in a while, a little rainbow trout will swim by, little 7 to 8 inch trout, and once that little fish finds some safety in this cove, a couple of minutes later, there are 1 or 2 stripers swimming around. I've been casting around this little lure trying to get some of those stripers to go for this lure. But this, of course, is too small, and I don't think it looks trouty enough. It looks good in the water, a little kicking paddle tail, but the fish, they look at it, but they won't commit to it. I think it's too small, too plastic looking. You need something that looks like a trout. Now for the last hour, I have my second rod out there as well. And on that, I simply have some different baits, some different flavored baits, trying to see if we can get any catfish or carp. No hits on that as well. So it's been fun fishing in this particular area, but no fish to show for it. So I'm thinking maybe we need to pack up. There is one more spot I want to try before it gets too hot and I call it a day. Right, so we finally have a little fish, a little trout. It is summer, so I don't really want to take this fish out of the water. We do want to have a little look at him. Love the colors and patterns on this one. I'm hooked nice on the top of the mouth there. Good size trout. Quickly get a little fly out. Now we can get this trout back into the water. And off he goes. Nice little trout. We're going to release him. Hopefully he won't be food for some stripers. They're kind of covered with a big grass layer here, throwing all sorts of flies at them, trying to get some. Not allowed to fish near the area where I wanted to, where I'm thinking the carp would be. So I'm quickly trying for some trout, so we can say we at least got some fish and we landed that one. I'm going to make a few more casts, but then I'm going to call it for today. There we are, second fish. Just want to tire this fish out a bit. It's a bit squeamish, so let's just have it swim around a bit. And the fly came off, but there he goes. That's the thing, not using big flies, so it's easy for those little flies to pop out. Another little fish landed, again, top of the mouth. Don't want to keep him out of the water longer than necessary. Back he goes. bit of a drop, but they're fine. That's why I'm in the water, so if I drop them, they go back to the water. So this time around, I changed patterns, put on a different fly. We got another little trout. There he goes. Alright, ladies and gents, I set out today to catch some carp here at Willow Beach, and I got distracted by some stripers, and at the end of the day I had to settle for catching some trout. Now all in all, not a bad day, lots of fun out there. Now, I have to say I've never seen the stripers this active here at Willow Beach, but every once in a while you can see a little mini boil happening. Lots of rainbow trout still being chased around by these big stripers. So if you're looking to get on some of these stripers and you don't have any big lures, the little shop here at Willow Beach, the little store, they actually have quite a selection of different rainbow trout looking lures. And if you're looking for some of these stripers, you at least need a little 6-inch to 7-inch little swim bait. Try and imitate these fish so you can get on some stripers. Now that being said, I also did have to try out 15 different flies before I finally got something working for these little rainbow trout. And that's the big thing you need to remember. Yes, this spot offers some great fishing, but it can be difficult. If you're only coming here on one single day for a couple of hours, you might actually get skunked. It takes a couple of days of fishing to figure out how to catch these fish. You have to constantly change lures, find the right thing that's working. And like I said, if you see a little boil happening, by the time you get your lure out there, you might be too late. So it's constant casting, constant looking to try and find these fish. But at the end of the day, there are a lot of people around, a lot of people actually catching fish, so it's still a good fun time. That's all the heat I can take for today. So I want to thank you for following me on this trip. Please do give me a little thumbs up for catching some fish at least. Consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't done so already, and feel free to ask any questions down below in the comments. But thank you for watching. Like always, see you next time.